Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We chanted verses 4 and 5, and we will chant them again, but just to give a broad overview of chapter 10. What do we have? We have over here a compendium of the glories of the Lord. Why do we need to study the glories of the Lord? Because this is a way of connecting to Ishvara, is through the glories. Remember, we talked about 3 stages of bhakti. What was that? Ekarupa bhakti, then Anekarupa bhakti, and then Arupa bhakti. So this is very much in which one? Glories of the Lord. Second one, Anekarupa bhakti, where I see the Lord everywhere and as everything. And so just to situate that, we haven't forgotten the categorization from before. So connecting to that, seeing Bhagavan as everything and seeing Bhagavan's glories as everything and everywhere. This is what we saw. Then the second reason to look at the glories of Bhagavan, to connect from the standpoint of the glories of Bhagavan, is, what is the reason? The reason is to understand Bhagavan from the standpoint of this ahankara, the body, mind, sense equipped ahankara, the ahankara that thinks itself to be finite in a particular body, in a particular mind, equipped with a particular senses, and thinks itself to be what? Karta, Bhokta, Pramata, doer, thinker, knower, agent of doing, and then what? The experiencer of joys and sorrows, of course. If you are an experiencer of joy, you will definitely be an experience of sorrow also. So therefore, what is this ahankara vis-a-vis Bhagavan? This we have to understand, that the ahankara is also included in Bhagavan. And so the study of the glories helps us do that, because when you are studying the glory of Bhagavan, when you see mountain as Bhagavan, everything as Bhagavan, then what is there? There is nothing left. Atra kim parishishyate. We saw that yesterday in Kathopanishad. Nothing is left. And so that is the second reason to look at the glories, because it's not like we are just looking at glories somewhere else and then looking at myself separate. I too am part of the glory. And so here the kartritva bhoktritva buddhi gets trained and tamed, because Bhagavan has demanded to get back the intellectual copyright of everything. So if you have a good voice, you can't say, I sing well. Who is it singing? Bhagavan. Anything I ask, the answer is what? Bhagavan. So who is singing? Bhagavan. And if you say, I cook well, who is doing that? Bhagavan. I am a very good Vedantin, very good student of Vedanta. Who is a good student of Vedanta? Bhagavan. In this particular form of this buddhi. And so anything that you do well, it's not you, it is Bhagavan. So this way the ahankara is nicely put in its place. And so the ahankara is Ishvarized and then put in its place. And so I don't see myself as a discrete entity full of successes, full of failures, and then, finite, discrete entity in the universe. So this, what is that? This is a next to Sarvatma Bhava. This precedes the gain of Sarvatma Bhava. That's why we are doing this. It is intimately connected with ourselves. And so the individual bhakta and the subject matter of the bhakti, which is Ishvara, are one. This alienation is gone. So this is the full culmination of Virat Bhakti, which is another name for Aneka Rupa Bhakti. Aneka Rupa Bhakti in the form of Virat. The word Virat we have seen before. Vividham Rajate iti Virat. Shines variously, is manifest variously. That which is variously manifest is what? What is? Anything I ask, the answer is? What is manifest variously? Even after telling the answer, it doesn't come. This is my, yes, my prarabdha, I should say. So, anyway, so then we have, so we say that whatever is manifest is Bhagavan. So, manifest variously means what? Through many, many names, many, many forms. This is what it is, manifest variously. This is one meaning of the word Virat. Virat Bhakti. Up till verse number 11, we will have this only. And then the next one, next meaning of the word Virat is Bhagavan, who is in the form of the world that is awake. World that is awake means what? World also wakes up and rubs its eyes. No, 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 you are awake, and when you awaken, you don't awaken in a vacuum. Where do you awaken? In a world that is also awake. The physicists talk about the ever-expanding universe. The universe is still expanding. That's what is Virat. Virat is this dynamic aspect of Bhagavan that is always actively in creation. Actively manifesting, actively multiplying, actively new things are there. This is what is Virat. So Bhagavan, with reference to the sleeper and the world in Pralaya, is called Ishvara. Bhagavan, with reference to the contemplative world that is about to come out, is called Hiranyagarbha. So Virat is a specific reference to the universe that is manifest, which we have to deal with on an everyday basis. Okay, and so verses 4 and 5, let us chant together. Buddhir jnanamasammohaha kshama. So together, yeah. Buddhir jnanamasammohaha kshama satyam dhamashamaha sukham dukkham bhavo bhavaha bhayancha bhayamevacha ahimsa samata tushtihi Tapodanayasho yashaha bhavanti bhava bhutana matta eva prithagvidha. So, when we talk about the world, what do we see? Everything that is outside. It's very easy to say this world and then discount what? This world in the form of one's own body, mind, sense complex. The Jagat includes and starts with your body, mind, sense complex. Jagat is not away from your body, mind, sense complex. So what we call Bahif Prapancha, the quote-unquote outside world, and Antara Prapancha, the inner world, are one and the same. From the standpoint of Bhagavan. From the standpoint of this body, you make this inner and outer world, and that is because this is from the standpoint of our own ajnanam. We say inner and outer. Space itself is Bhagavan. So really there is no separation, there is no difference, and so there is no inner outer. But from the standpoint of this body, and the mind and the senses, what are all the emotions, what are all the states of mind that are manifest, are also Abba. Yeah. Ushappade. Yes. So, Bhagavan. Okay. And so, there is a nice, beautiful list of things we don't associate with Bhagavan. We think they are our own qualities or the qualities of saintly people, but actually they are what? Bhagavan. And so here there is a wonderful list in the two verses are usually taken together. So buddhihi, first one is what? Buddhihi. Buddhi we know, the intellect. Intellect is Bhagavan. Jnanam. Jnanam is, so when I say I have self-knowledge, it is what? Bhagavan. Buddhihi jnanam. And then asammohaha. No, in the 18th chapter, Arjuna is fixing to say, he is going to say, Nashto mohaha smritir labdha karishye vachanam tava. I will do your work. I will do as you say. Karishye vachanam tava. I will make sure your words come true. I am no longer going to fighting this war. Yeah, so I'm not going to fighting this war. No more will I do that. And so, karishye vachanam tava. What does he say? Nashto mohaha. My delusion is destroyed. Who is the destroyer of delusion? Bhagavan. And what is that mind which has no delusion? Bhagavan. Asammohaha. Bhagavan. Buddhi jnanaha. Jnanam asammohaha. Kshama. Kshama we think of as, what is the? Forgiveness. Here, really it becomes from ksham, kshanta, kshanti, means accommodation. We'll see this in 13th chapter. Accommodation. A sense of, yes, you may be very, very annoying, but you have a right to live. You have a right to live. You may be extremely annoying, and I don't want to be anywhere around you, but you have a right to live, and we have to coexist. And from that person's standpoint, that person can say, the world is not big enough for the both of us. Maybe that's the feeling inside, but still we have to coexist. Not just in two separate continents, but right here we have to coexist. And I am going to choose to grow. To grow, to be bigger than my annoyance. This is kshama. How beautiful. I'm growing to be bigger, not bigger than you. I don't need to do that. I'm going to be bigger than my annoyance. So the annoyance is like a small child that is crying, that you can just pat it and make it go to sleep. I am bigger than my annoyance. That means what? I have grown up. Emotionally, I am bigger than my annoyance. And so you do not have the capacity to annoy me, because this I, which is Bhagavan, like huge, have the ability to accommodate you and your quirks and your annoyances. Everything is just included. You should have seen all the kinds of people who came to Pujya Swamiji. This verse he really embodied. All kinds of people would come. And they would just, one person came and said, I am a great scholar in Vedanta and Sanskrit, and I have come to do a debate with you. I want Vada. And Pujya Swamiji just picked up a paper and started to read, and he wouldn't go away. And then Pujya Swamiji said to Chandrama, who is here, so she used to take care of him, and he told Chandrama, please bring him a cup of tea. And so you can go sit with Chandrama. She will tell you lots of stories of Pujya Swamiji. You just have to talk loud. She's a little hard of hearing. So Chandrama said, okay. She brought him tea, and for good measure some biscuits also. The man was thirsty and hungry, not just for biscuits and tea, but also for some kind of attention and love. And so he drank the tea, he ate the biscuits, and then Swamiji said, was it good? Yes, it was very good. Would you like some more? Yes. I had another cup of tea, had some more biscuits, and went away. So this is kshanti, accommodation. You don't engage in the same way, and because you always remember you are, yes, Bhagavan. Little too late, okay? So time se aana chahiye na. So you are Bhagavan, you never forget. And so you accommodate. The Bhagavan is nothing but kshanti swarupa. So whenever I can grow to be accommodative, that is what in me, that is the expression of Bhagavan. So buddhihi jnanam asammohaha kshantihi, and then what else? Tapaha. Tapo jnanam. Yeah, kshama is kshanti. Kshama satyam tapo. Kshama satyam damaha shamaha. So when one says I have shama dama, what is that? You don't have it. That is Bhagavan in you. You feel like boxing somebody, but you don't. Yeah, the hand becomes a fist. The teeth is clenched like this. And then you suddenly remember, I am studying Vedanta. Let me make it into a beautiful lotus flower. You make a flower mudra. And then say, who, me? No, I have Dhamma. This is Dhamma. And Shama is like, in the comics, you see air, hot air coming out of the nose and out of the ears and all red, and the person is getting ready to explode. That is lack of Shama. And there also you allow everything to resolve. You write it out. You express the anger without targeting yourself and the other. That is Shama. That is what? Hello. What is that? Bhagavan. Yes. Dhamma is Bhagavan. Shama is Bhagavan. Satyam here. Whenever Satyam is mentioned, along with the qualification, it is Satya Bhashanam. Speaking of the truth. Because you see, truth speaking, this is something our parents taught us when we were small. The question is why? We never know, we don't understand. How come the child thinks, how come the parents can lie, but I am supposed to tell the truth? The child doesn't understand. But here this is part of this beautiful and very deep, profound culture which has a very sophisticated understanding of Ishvara. When I tell a lie, then there is a split between the doer, meaning the teller of the untruth, and the knower, the one who knows this is not true, this is not correct. This split is Dvaita. And if this Dvaita is not healed, no matter even if Lord Brahmaji comes and teaches Vedanta, this split will always be there and inhibit me from assimilating the Shastra. Therefore, Satya Bhashanam is very, 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 very important. So Satyam, so whenever I am able to, and truth as we saw earlier is always inconvenient. There is no convenient truth. When you tell the truth, there will be some fallout. Somebody will say, oh, you did this and you are accepting this, I will no longer be your friend. That's the phala. Sometimes the karma phala of telling the truth is not pleasant. Still, I sacrifice that and be with the truth means the assimilation of Vedanta is fatafat, very, 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 very quick, extremely quick. And so, therefore, Satya Bhashanam, very important. Then, so Satya Bhashanam, very important. Damaha Shamaha, then Sukham Dukkham. Sukham Dukkham. So Sukham is Bhagavan, of course, and Dukkham is also Bhagavan. In fact, the more Dukkham you have, the best way to look at it is more difficulty, more challenges. That means there is more Bhagavan in my life. More opportunities to contemplate, more opportunities to be in prayer. What kind of prayer? My body hurts. That is the prayer. That is an area of contemplation. And so therefore, this Shama, Dhamma, Dukkham, Sukham, and then Bhavaha and Abhavaha, presence and absence of a particular thing. All that is myself alone. And then another pair of opposites, that is also myself alone. Bhayam cha Abhayam evacha. Bhayam is me. Abhayam is me. When I say, yay, I am fearless, that is what? Bhagavan. When you say, oh, puk, 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 the heart is beating very fast, that is also Bhagavan. Bhagavan in the form of fear, Bhagavan in the form of sorrow, Bhagavan in the form of anxiety, it's all Bhagavan. All the emotions are Bhagavan, the whole gamut of emotions are Bhagavan. And then the next verse says, Ahimsa samata tushtihi tapodhanam yasho yashaha. Ahimsa. Ahimsa is natural. It is part of dharma. Generally, you don't want to hurt anybody. Nobody wants to hurt anybody. That is the human being. Other beings, they have to kill to eat, to survive. That's different. But here, nobody wants to hurt anybody, and that is exactly what is the point here. And so, therefore, ahimsa is natural for the human being. Not hurting people, emotionally, physically, in all ways. So, wherever there is ahimsa, there is Bhagavan. Samata, equilibrium. A kind of a synergy, a balance, an internal balance. Here we are talking of the internal world of emotions and attitudes and values. So there is an internal balance, samata. And then tushtihi. Tushtihi is contentment, tripti. So tushtoham, I am contented. And then being contented with little is a sign of Bhagavatta within. Usually, if you have something, you want something else. Generally, that is how the mind is, the untrained mind. If you have one thing, then the next thing, then the next thing. See, when people emigrate, when people go to the States or some other Western country, first they will rent a small apartment. Then they say, no, we have to have our own house. So then they'll buy one small, what is called townhouse. Something condo it's called. What is condo short for? Condominium. Yeah. Some kind of a 2-story thing. Then after that, you need your own house, independent house. And then after that, you want your dream house. And then the dream house becomes a nightmare to maintain. You have to clean, you have to do all kinds of things. And the dream house is built so that the next 3 generations can come and stay. But nobody comes because everybody is busy. Then the dream house is a nightmare to sell. Because why will anybody want to buy your dream? They will have their own dream. They will build their own dream house. Why your dream they will want? So then after that somehow you sell it and then you say you need to, I'm getting old. I need to, what is the word? Downsize. Thank you. Downsize. I need to downsize. I need to let go. I think a small duplex or a condo is enough. Then you're back to the condo. Then after that to an apartment. Then after that to a room. And then after that to a bed. Finished. This is what is the whole kind of a thing. So tushti means just being happy with what is. Living within the means and being happy with whatever there is. This is called tushti. Ahimsa, samata, tushti. And then what else? Tapaha. Tapaha, any form of tapas. Whether it is fasting, whether it is mantra, whether it is any kind of anushtanam, maunam, vak, tapas, everything is myself alone, Bhagavan says. Dhanam, you are not the giver, you are not giving. And then, I am the one giving. I am the resources. I am the resource. And that urge to give is also me. It's not you, it's not coming from you. If you recognize that as me, you will be free. You misrecognize that as yourself, I am the giver, then you are stuck with karma phala, karma and guilt and hurt and all this, I buddhi. Then what? Yashaha and ayashaha. Yashaha means the one who is sitting in the back. Yashaha, fame. Ayashaha, infamy, notoriety. Fame is also me. What makes one famous? Maybe somebody writes a book, suddenly famous. Maybe somebody discovers something. That's why so many people got the Nobel Prize. Famous. Or somebody, what is that? Suddenly somebody puts something on YouTube. That's another way to become famous. YouTube influencer. And it's very catching. It's more like YouTube influenza. Okay, it's very catching. And everybody sees this video, it goes viral, and you become famous. Once somebody becomes famous. So this is Yashaha, and then infamy. The Kala Chakra goes. The same person who attained fame, like sometimes a politician, lots of malas, nice flower malas, coconuts they are given, flower malas, put on a stage, please speak, microphone, so many shawls, everything. And then what? Something got discovered, scandal, gold bars under the bed. IT raid, income tax people went and raided and then found all kinds of objectionable, wealth in the house. Same person who was famous is now still in the papers. Why? Infamous. All that. So in Bhagavan is not infamy. Infamy is the person's karma, which is given by Bhagavan. We have to understand. So Bhagavan is in the form of the karma phala that brings both fame and notoriety. And I do not, that means what? I see everything as Bhagavan, do not attach to either. Tapodanam yasho yashaha. And then what else? Bhavanti bhava bhutanam bhavaha prithak vidhaha bhavaha bhutanam. Prithak vidha means nana vidhaha. Various kinds of bhavas, various kinds of things, entities, like what we have mentioned, bhavanti, mattaha eva, they all come from me alone, they are mine, my expressions alone. Very beautiful. Then, maharshayas sapta purve, Chatvaro manavastatha Madbhava manasa jataha Yesham loka imaf prajaha Etam vibhuti yogam cha Mamayo vetti tattvatah So vikampena yogena Yujyate natra samshayah Aham sarvasya prabhavah Mattasarvam pravartate Iti matva bhajante mam Buddha bhava samanvitaha. So maharshayah saptah purve. Purve means right in the beginning. So 7 maharshis, saptarishayah, they are still to be seen in the form of stars. And different Puranas, etc. have different names. And in the Veda also different names they are known by. Doesn't matter. 7 maharshis. And then we have also 4 rishis. Who are what? Sanaka, Sanandana, Sanat Kumara, Sanat Sujata. They are there at the feet of the Lord. You can choose which one is which, they won't mind. And so, these are the 4 rishis, and to talk about the Nivritti Parampara. What is Nivritti Parampara? Sannyasa Paddhati. So, the knowledge flowed through two kinds of paramparas. One is through the people who were married, who were yogis, who were rishis, and the other one through sannyasis. So first the four Manasaputras were created by the Lord Brahmaji, which is again Ishvara, and then they all took to sannyasa. Then the Lord had to create 7 Maharshis who would be then married and who would still have this parampara, who would, we see this parampara in the Mundakopanishad. We see the Grihastha parampara, not just a sannyasi parampara. Both of them are there, and in fact both of them will never agree. The Grihastha people will say, why, what for you are taking sannyasa? You should not take sannyasa. And the sannyasis will say, what for this Grihastha ashrama exists, we don't know. This is how the two are always there. And then so Maharshaya, and then all this, and then we have, so that is enlisted to show these two paramparas in this verse. And then the second thing is 14 manus. 14 manus. And each manu is in charge of a small period of time, small, by the standards of the cosmos, small. So 71 Chatur Yuga, one Manu presides over. 71 Chatur Yugas. 4 cycles of Yuga. So after one Avartanam. So we have what? Satya Yuga, then Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, Kali Yuga is one Chatur Yuga. Multiply that by 71 is the lifespan of one Manu, which they keep coming back. So right now we are under Vaivasvata Manvantaram. So this Manu's Yuga is called Manvantara. So we will say Vaivasvata Manvantare in the Sankalpa. So in Vaivasvata Vivaswan Manu, and so it's called Vaivasvata Manvantara. This Manu is called Vivaswan, coming from the sun, and in fact that is mentioned in the beginning of the 4th chapter. Vivaswan Manave Praha. This Vivaswan gave it to Manu. Manurikshvakave Bravit. Manu who gave it to Ikshvaku. Ikshvaku is the one of the kings in the Raghu clan, in Rama's clan. Ikshvaku. Okay, so Vivaswan's putra Vaivasvata. Okay, so Vaivasvata Manvantara. So how many years of this Manu have elapsed out of 71? Ashtavimshati Tame, 28th year, 28th Chatur Yuga. So then 71 minus 28, whatever is left, 43. Yeah, so 43 more Chatur Yugas. After this, Vaivasvata Manu will go away. Another Manu will come and preside over the next 71 Chatur Yugas. Like this, there is a very sophisticated breakup of time. All that is me alone. The Manus are me. The calculation is me. Everything is me. And then all the they are all my manasa jataha. They are all born of my mind. In the sense what? In the sense of they are non-separate from me. Sankalpa matrena, whose prabhava is sankalpa matrena, whose birth is just sankalpa alone. Manasa means I think and then it happens. Because Bhagavan is Satya Sankalpa. Satya Sankalpa means no desire is there for Bhagavan. Therefore, the desires of the world, of the karmas of the people become his desires. So, Bhagavan is Satya Sankalpa. And then, so Madbhava Manasa Jataha Yesham Loka Imaf Prajaha. All these things, all these, the people who populate the world and people who run the world also as Manus, etc., they are all born of me. So then why should I know this? The phala is given in the next couple of verses. Etam vibhuti yogam cha mama yaha vetti tattvataha. One who understands my vibhutis, one who understands me as non-separate from the vibhutis. Vibhuti means what? Glories. From the glories, etam yo vetti tatvatah, what happens? Their knowledge becomes unshakable. Saha, such a person, avikampena yogena. Don't read it as vikampena yogena. Vikampena means shaky. Always, maybe, maybe not, maybe, maybe not. Unshakable is avikampena yogena. Saha plus avikampa, so vikampa. There is a visarga sandhi there, like shivoham, that sandhi. Okay, and so vikampena yogena yujyate. Yujyate means becomes one with this knowledge. Yoga here is knowledge. Yoga is Brahma Vidya. Saha avikampena yogena, with unshakable knowledge of Bhagavan as myself, that person becomes one with that. Of this there is no doubt at all. Why? Simply because aham sarvasya prabhavah. I am the origin of everybody. Mattah eva sarvah pravartate. Everything happens because of me. Then, knowing this, the one who worships me in this form, buddhaha, means those intelligent people, bhava samanvitaha. Bhava here means two things. Well, the first meaning of the word bhava is knowledge. Second meaning of the word bhava is devotion. Equipped with knowledge and devotion, they understand me as nothing but the glories that populate this whole universe, the glories that extend not only to things that are quote unquote outside, but to even the emotions, their own body, their own mind, their own senses, their own emotions. Everything is myself alone. That is moksha. So from Ekarupa we graduate to Anekarupa Bhakti, but that Anekarupa Bhakti is important because from there it just becomes that oneness, Arupa. Everything is Ishvara. You get tired of counting the things. How many things are you going to count? And you say it's all Ishvara. And then that Ishvara has what? No form. That is the next level of understanding. So first is Ishvara in a particular form. God, I am in the world. God is also in the world. God is in this particular form for me. Then the second level of bhakti is God is in the God has created the world. God is the creator, has created the world and appears as in the form of the world. God is non-separate from the world. Or rather we should say the world is non-separate from Bhagavan, and so this is what we have to understand. Then there is even one more vantage point higher than that. God simply is not the world. God has nothing to do with the world. And what world? We have to say, what world? Where is this world? And where is this world means that which is not separate from God. Why do you have to count that? It is all Bhagavan. There is nothing to count. What is left to count? Nothing is left to count. It's all Bhagavan alone, and so there is nothing more to count. So God simply is, the world appears as God and disappears into God. There is no God separate. There is no world separate from God. And then we say, this world, God has nothing to do with this world. That world, that God which we are talking about is Chaitanya Atma Swarupa. That consciousness. Everything is this consciousness, but then the next level is what? Consciousness is not any one thing. Both these understandings go together. But slowly we proceed, step by step we proceed, and so that is how this is moving here. So the one who knows this is moksha. The one who knows that there is nothing there other than myself alone as consciousness, that is Bhagavan, that is the world. Iti matva yo bhajante. So that person is knowledgeable and is filled with devotion, bhakti, etc. Further, 9th verse, Macchitta madgata pranaha bodhayantah parasparam kathayantascha mam nityam Tushyanti charamanti cha Tesham satatayuktanam Bhajatam pritipurvakam Dadhami buddhiyogam tam Yena mamupayanti te Teshamevānukam pārtham Aham ajñānajam tamaha Nāśayāmatma bhāvasthaha Jnānadīpena bhāsvata So, appreciating the people who worship Bhagavan in the form of the glories which are in the world, which are in themselves, Bhagavan says in the 9th verse, Macchittaha, these people whose chittam, whose heart is with me all the time. Their heart is nothing but Bhagavan. It's not, again, as we have pointed out many times in detail, we have seen, it's not that their heart is, they are thinking of Bhagavan. There is nothing to think of. They are one with Bhagavan because of the knowledge. Madgata pranaha. Breathing also, prano vai ishvaraha. There is a Vedic sentence, they know that. Namaste vayo. Outside what is called vayu is Bhagavan. Tvameva pratyaksham brahmasi. You are Brahman. Sakshat you are Brahman. And then I take a deep breath. What does it become? My prana. That is also Ishvara. Prano vai Ishvara. So in every breath there is a contemplation. There can be a contemplation of Ishvara merely because of one's awareness. All you have to do is sit and breathe. And that becomes a contemplation. It becomes a chintanam. It becomes a, nididhyasana. So, madgata madchittaha, madgata pranaha. And then what do they do? How do they spend their time? Bodhayantah parasparam. So when they see another person, they also say to them, did you also enjoy breathing? Do you also see Bhagavan while breathing? And the other person says, no. How? Please teach me. Kathayantascha mam bhaktya. Then they go and say, this has been my experience. Because they are joyful. And any joyful, good news spreads fast. Bad news you want to sweep under the rug and not look at. Because it's unpleasant. And so similarly here, this is something they want to share, and this is what they do. And in the Mundakopanishad, Kathopanishad also, perhaps it will come, I think it comes, but in the Mundakopanishad it is there, Kathopanishad it is there, Anya vacha pramunchatha. Give up all other talk. Esha amritatvasya setuhu. This is the bridge to this knowledge of immortality, you as Bhagavan. So give up all other talk. Oh, what lovely weather. Oh, did you see this one? Did you see that one? Oh, is that a new something? Did you buy a new something? And oh, why this person is like that? Why that person is like that? How this person is doing this? How that person is doing this? So therefore, this is all, what is it called? Anatma Chintanam. So from Anatma Chintanam to Atma Chintanam doesn't take too long. You drop the Anatma by just understanding that right here is all the material needed lifelong for contemplation. So all the new discoveries, new means old only really, because this knowledge is Purana, very, very ancient. And so therefore, anything that appears as new, one gets excited. Like that man in ancient Greece, the physicist, what was his name? Archimedes. And then what? All he wanted to do was take a bath. And what did he do? Got inside the tub. And then some water got displaced. And then he suddenly came up with the theory of buoyancy. He came up with a measurement of the exact amount of water displaced has something to do with the mass that is introduced in the water. And then he ran round the streets of ancient Athens just like that, unaware that he was unclad, unaware that he had just got out of the bath, not even a towel, nothing. He just ran through the streets of Athens saying, I have discovered this, I know. That is, he is in touch with Bhagavan. Totally in touch with Bhagavan, glory of Bhagavan in the form of the principle of buoyancy, which is accredited to him. So really there is a forgetting of just the laukika things, the mundane things of every day. Today what was there for lunch, why this wasn't there, why that was there. Today how this happened, why that happened, nothing at all. It is just basically reveling in Bhagavan as the glory of oneself, and that is something to just talk about to others. So not only do they revel, then what bodhayantaf parasparam, mutually they talk about it, they teach each other, and then kathayantascha mam nityam, they keep talking about me all the time, and therefore what, they are fulfilled, tushyanti. Why? Because ramanti cha, they are delighting in me, so they are delighted, because that me they are delighting is really the truth of them. And for such people, what do? If you ask Bhagavan, Bhagavan will say, Tesham satata yuktanam. Yuktanam, endowed in this manner, when? Satatam. Satatam means one time, correct? No, always. Always endowed with this kind of an attitude, the one who is there, Tesham satata yuktanam. What kind of attitude? Bhajatam. All present continuous. Bhajatam, for the people who are worshipping me. How? Preeti purvakam. Lovingly worshipping me. Lovingly means they are love. And they have discovered me to be love. And so they are just in love with the universe, with everybody in it, nobody in particular, but everybody at large. They are just the manifestation of that love. And they are able to, and this kind of a lovingness is infectious. You can't be in front of it and not be moved by it. That's why when, one would go to a saintly person and sit in front of them, one feels that. Even though one may not know Vedanta, one may not know anything, whoever came and sat in front of Pujya Swamiji would be definitely transformed by that love. And so, bhajatam preeti purvakam dadami, I give them, I will give them. What will I give them? Buddhi yogam. Buddhi yogam means a union with this knowledge of the Atma. Whatever they need, I will give them. So, whatever they need in their pursuit, for example, if they don't have Guru, but they have all this, they are able to appreciate my glories, I will send a Guru by courier, FedEx. Guru comes, you open the dabba, Guru jumps out. And then what else? Supposing they have some block to understand it, I will remove that block. I myself will come and just through a laser beam of this knowledge, I will remove that block. Some chronic issues are there because of which they are not able to assimilate this knowledge. I will heal those chronic issues, whatever needs to be done, to give them this union with their own truth as Bhagavan. I will accomplish that. Tesham bhajatam Bhaktipurvakam bhajanam dadami buddhi yogam tam yenamam, through which they gain me alone. They gain me. They will gain me alone, nobody else. They will gain me, means as themselves. And then tesham eva, for them alone, anukampartham. Kampa, shaking, kamp, to tremble. Anu plus kamp, trembling in accordance with. So this is the meaning of compassion. Anukampa, compassion. So the person who is trembling is in distress, and the other person has, the one person has kampanam, distress, the other person has anukampa, meaning understanding that distress, not shaking along with them and saying, oh, you are sad, I am sadder, wait till you see my life story. That's not the idea. You know. So here, anukampartham, just for the sake of compassion. And he said in 3rd chapter, the Lord said, Name parthasti kartavyam trishu lokeshu kinchana. I don't have any duties here in any of the 3 worlds. Nanavaptam avaptavyam. There is nothing gained that I have to gain. But what do? Varte eva cha karmani. I still keep doing. Why? Out of compassion. I see all the people crying, Trahimam, Pahimam, Uddharamam, lift me up, help me, save me. And I don't gain anything by helping, but I lend a hand. And especially I love to lend a hand to people who are Jignasu Bhaktas. This is what is the purport of this verse. For the Jignasu Bhaktas, I am definitely willing, able and ready to lend a hand out of compassion. So the other people you don't rescue, I rescue them. But these people are dear to me because they are Jnani wannabes. They will become Jnanis very soon. And I'd like them to find the fulfillment of their purpose in the human life. So therefore I will definitely help them. And why will I help them? Not because I am partial, but because of anukampa. Anukampartham. And what do? Aham, I, ajnanajam tamaha. This tamas, the eclipse, the avarna of Maya, the covering from one's own nature, ajnanajam, born of ajnanam. This ajnanajam tamaha, this tamas born of ajnanam, what will I do? Nashayami, I will destroy this tamas. How? Jnana deepena bhasvata, by the shining light of knowledge. What is this shining light of knowledge? Mahavakya. The statement, the understanding of oneness, the teaching of oneness. And so, Jnana deepena bhasvata nashayami. And when this tamas is destroyed, what do they see? Atma bhavasthaha. Who is this aham? Atma bhavasthaha. This aham is in the form of you. I, Bhagavan says, is in the form of you. When you say I, it is Bhagavan. That I is changed to the meaning of the word I as the owner of this miserable little body, mind, sense complex is changed into what? Bhagavan. So, I will destroy their tamas, whereby they understand themselves as Atma Bhavastha. They understand me as sitting in their heart as the truth of the I. Jnana Deepena Bhasvata, by the powerful light, the lamp of knowledge. Lamp means you have not to take it literally. The bright light of knowledge, just like the light cannot brook any, what is it called, darkness. Similarly here, the tamas runs away because it has no place to hide, no place to lurk. It is dismissed totally, and all that is there is I. What a different I. The first I before knowledge was the complaining I, the finite I, the limited I. Then I discover thanks to Bhagavan, thanks to the compassion of Bhagavan, the grace of Bhagavan, because of whom I gained the Guru. And the Guru taught me to see that this I was free of complaints, bigger than the biggest, Brahman, consciousness without any attributes, and which was not shy of any attributes, all the as though attributes belong to this only, but it is free of all attributes inherently. So this is what one understands. And we had been going along merrily, and then this the 10th chapter should have concluded on verse number 11, because in fact this is the gist of the whole chapter it was given. But it continues. Why? Arjuna Uvacha. And that too long question. A question that lasts 6 verses he asks, and that is because he is not asking the question in all the verses. He is doing, maska to Bhagavan. He is just buttering up Bhagavan, because by this time a desire has taken hold in his heart. What is this desire? I want to see Bhagavan. I want to see this Vibhuti Yoga, which is a segue to chapter 11. And this is, but here, even here he says, that list all the Vibhutis. The essence of the question is just this. List me all the Vibhutis one by one, through which I can see you, through which I can understand you. And this is a new way for me of seeing. I really want it. And then when you really want something, you have to do a little leg massage, and then you have to give them something, and you have to say, oh, nobody else is able to tell me this, only you can tell. Because the Bhagavan can say, just go look at Google, why you are bothering me? Go search in Google, why I should tell you what all I am. Let that not happen. So you alone, Tvameva Arhasi, you alone are qualified to tell me all this, to tell me all your own Vibhutis. How will I know? If I ask somebody, they will not know. You alone are doing that. So then he says a few lovely things about praise of Bhagavan, thankfulness for all this teaching he has received up to now. And then he will ask a 6 verses question, which is really basically list all the ways in which your Vibhutis manifest on the planet. We will see it at tonight. We will see it. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.